The two most important things we need to have to be happy and healthy is a sense of control, a feeling that we are in control of our lives, that things are happening for a reason, and a sense of coherence, a feeling that things fit together.
In high jumping, first you throw your heart over the bar, and then your body will follow. First of all, you decide where you want to be in your mind by the things that you do every day, and sooner or later your results will follow. Thoughts are causes and conditions are effects. If you change your thinking about yourself and about what you're doing, you actually change your results in that area.
The average self-made millionaire in America works 12 to 13 hours a day, works about 60 to 65 hours a week. I'll tell you this with regard to hard work, that in our society, you only work 8 hours a day for survival. Everything over 8 hours is for success. And if you're only working 8 hours a day, you're in trouble. If you're only working 8 hours a day, you better have a rich uncle, or you better have somebody else who's going to take care of you, because 8 hours a day only gets you survival in our society. Because it's so competitive that somebody else is working 9, they've got an edge on you. Somebody else is working 10, they've got a bigger edge on you. Every hour over 8 that you invest is an investment in your future, is an investment in your success. And if you put in the hours over 8, whether it's studying or reading or working, if you put in the hours, it will pay off, and it will pay off in spades. It's like throwing seed in the ground. When you throw a seed in the ground, the plant that comes up is not just one seed, it's hundreds of seeds. There's a crop that you put in, but you must put the seed in the ground first. The market only pays excellent rewards for excellent performance. It pays average rewards for average performance. It pays below average rewards for below average performance.
The most important word that I have found in success is clarity. Successful people are very clear about what they want. And here's an interesting discovery. The greater clarity you have, the faster you draw into your life the resources necessary to achieve it. So in determining what you want, there's an activity that I teach to the senior executives of billion-dollar corporations, and it's called idealization. So you start off by idealizing your perfect life. You imagine that there are no limitations on what you can do or be or have. Imagine that you have all the time and all the money. You have all the friends and all the contacts to accomplish any goal that you could set for yourself. Imagine that you could wave a magic wand and make your life perfect in each of the 4 key areas of life. If your life was perfect in every area, what would it look like? Now here's the point before we go into the 4 areas. The fear of not achieving your goal, what we call self-limiting beliefs, hold you back more than anything else. And your self-limiting beliefs are not based on reality. That's why you have to constantly think, if I had no limitations, what goals would I set for myself? There's a very powerful principle called the principle of constraints. And what it says is that there's always one limiting factor or constraint or bottleneck between you and your goal that sets the speed at which you achieve your goal. So the question is, once you're clear about your goal, and let's say it's a financial goal, is what is the bottleneck that holds you back? For example, I will say to a company, what is your goal? Well, it's to grow in sales and profitability. What's the constraint? More sales. If you had more sales, would you achieve the goal? Yes. So what is the constraint behind that? Better trained salespeople. Maybe it's better products and services. Maybe it's better pricing. Maybe it's new markets. But keep asking, what's holding you back? What sets the speed? Now, the 80-20 rule applies to constraints. Fully 80% of the reasons that are holding you back from achieving your goal are inside yourself. They're not on the outside. Average people always blame their problems on external circumstances. Top people look inside themselves. The things that are holding you back are usually the lack of a skill, the lack of a quality like self-discipline, or the lack of a particular knowledge or skill, all of which you can learn or acquire. Only 20% of the reasons you are not achieving your goals are on the outside, so always start with yourself. Nature is neutral. In other words, nature doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you're tall or short or male or female or black or white, educated or uneducated. Nature doesn't care. All that nature cares is that you do what successful people do. It's like making a recipe. Nature doesn't care. You follow a recipe. If you follow the recipe exactly, you get the dish. Nature doesn't care who's doing it. And that's the wonderful thing about our society. It's basically like justice. It's blind, is nature doesn't care. In fact, there are a lot of people who are not as smart and not as talented as you who are doing vastly better than you, not because they're better, but because they're just following proven success methods. There's nothing that will make you madder than to see somebody who's dumber than you, who's making more money than you, right? Hey, have you had that experience? So what we do is we use proven success methods. We just find out what they are and we do them over and over again. Nothing works the first time. Okay, please understand that. Nothing works the first time. What is the average number of times that a person tries with a new goal before they give up? Can you guess? Well, the average is less than one, because most people give up before they try even once. They say, that's a great goal. I'd love to be financially independent. And then they give up. They don't even try this out because of this, and because of that, and so on. And then they move away to a wonderful place called Someday I'll. You ever heard of Someday I'll? Someday I'll start saving money. Someday I'll get out of debt. Someday I'll lose weight. Someday I'll start a business. Someday I'll get serious about my finances. And most people live on Someday I'll. Your job and my job is to vote yourself off the island. The research shows that the best people in every field, the ones that go from the bottom to the top in their careers, are people who engage in a concept called deliberate practice. Now, this is a breakthrough concept. It's like quality circles. It's a whole new concept in business. Deliberate practice means that, like a sniper, they select the one skill that today can help them the most to be the most productive, to make the greatest contribution where they are right now. And they ask around, if I was really good at one skill, you know, the magic wand concept, if I was really good at one skill right now, which one skill would help me the most at this stage of my career? And your boss can tell you, your coworkers can tell you, your staff can tell you, but you've got to know, because this is the key. It's almost like you're trapped in a room, there's one door out. The one door is the most important skill that you can learn. All business skills are learnable. All business skills are learnable. That means you can learn any business skill. And the point is, you must never allow yourself to be held back in your career, to be trapped in the room with the doors all ready to be opened with the keys and the locks. You must never allow yourself to be trapped because you lack a business skill. And many people, give you a very simple example, delegation. The ability to delegate intelligently and well to the right person in the right way, the right job, and make sure it's done, is an absolutely essential executive skill. If you do not have it, you cannot survive or succeed as an executive. You must be replaced or carefully supervised, because you will never get results through other people, the definition of management. But delegation is a learnable skill, and every successful executive is excellent at delegating. They're excellent at selecting the right people, working with them to get clarity about the right job. I'll give my friends a formula here. I call it the AB formula. And the AB formula says simply this: if all the work you have to do, there are two types of tasks. There are A tasks that move you toward your most important goals, doubling your income, improving your lifestyle, increasing your sales and marketing. There are B tasks that do not move you towards your goals, conversations, playing with the internet, reading the paper, going for lunch. In many cases, they move you away from your goals. So here's the rule: do only A tasks. Do not do B tasks at all. If you will do only A tasks, the tasks that move you toward what you say you want, only those tasks, and then you do the tasks that move you the fastest toward what you want, your most important task, you will have a wonderful life. But most people, 80% or more of people, spend their entire days on B tasks, tasks that are fun, small, irrelevant, useless, make no contribution to their careers, and they don't understand why 10 years have gone by and their income has gone up at the rate of inflation. Whereas the people who've been working on A tasks, their income goes up and up and up. People eagerly pay them more money because they are so valuable to the company. In sales and in life, credibility is everything. Your trustworthiness, your believability, how much I can trust you, how much confidence I feel in dealing with you, is the most important single factor, not only as a salesperson, but as a human being. And so you will find that your very best relationships in life are people with whom you have this perfect trust relationship. Your spouse, your best friends, your best customers. You have a relationship. I work with people on multi-million-dollar deals whom I've never met on the telephone or by email, because we have a trust relationship. And we can enter into agreements, and we can make commitments, and we can actually spend money and put in hours because we trust each other. There's no problem. And so trust between a customer and a salesperson is really important. And you build trust by asking questions, not by talking about your company or your service, by asking really good questions and listening closely to the answers and working to understand your customer.
The law of correspondence simply says that as within, so without. It says that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. It says that everywhere you go, there you are. Is it everywhere you go? It's almost like you're in a 360-degree mirror. Everywhere you look, there you are. Your relationships, your health, your income, your attitudes, your personality, everything on the outside is determined by what's going on the inside. Now, this is a powerful law, and it's very important because of this. If you want to change any part of your life, you start by changing the way you think about yourself on the inside. From the time immemorial, going back to Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, the greatest philosophers of all time have concluded that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Is that your life is what your thoughts make it. Is that you become what you think about most of the time. The entire history of the development of mankind has been the discovery of the causes of the effects that we wanted to either have more of or the effects that we wanted to have less of, whether it's technology or illness or something else. What I found was that if you do exactly what the very best people do, you get the same results that the very best people get. And if you do it over and over again, it's like a combination lock. If I give you the numbers to a combination lock and I give them to you in order, you can open the combination lock and I would give it to you, you can open it, I would give it to you, you can open it. What we found is that if you give people the right steps and they do the right things and the same things that other top people have done, they get the same results. Now here's an important point. People who are not at the top of their sales force sometimes doubtful or question what I'm saying. However, every single person who is at the top of their sales force now was once at the bottom. Every single person who is first was once last. Every single person who is doing extremely well today was once doing very poorly and sometimes doing poorly for a long time. If you do not have clear, specific goals for your life, you are doomed forever to work for people who do. And that seems to be the case. And yet only 5% of people have goals. So the key starting point with regard to clarity is to know where it is you're going and what it is you want to be and what it is you want to have and what it is you want to do. Because in America, in the most blessed society in all of human history, you can have anything in the world that you want if you could decide what it is that you want. The second key with regard to clarity is decisiveness. Be decisive. I have never met a successful person who was indecisive, and I have never met a failure who was decisive. Be decisive. Develop the characteristic and quality of decisiveness. We know that the reason why we are indecisive is because we're afraid of making a mistake. But the terrible thing is that the way that we think becomes a habit, and the habit of indecisiveness can condemn us to failure. We can be talented and intelligent and ambitious, but if we cannot make the hard decisions in our life, and if we cannot make decisions readily, and what happens is we always have to work for people who do make decisions readily. One of the major reasons why people are indecisive, in my experience, is they have no idea what they want to accomplish. It's almost like they've come to the crossroads, but they don't know which direction to go. 80% of all decisions should be made the first time they come up. And I read a management consultant's report on decisions. He said, the thing to do about decisions is to make a decision. And if that doesn't work, make another decision. And if that doesn't work, make another decision. And if that still doesn't work, you're probably in the wrong field anyway. But the interesting thing is that if you make a decision, you gather momentum. And the difference between successes and failures is not that successful people make right decisions, it is that successful people make their decisions right. In other words, once they have made a decision, they make it come out right. Anybody who's ever started a business knows that when you start a business, you start off with a whole bunch of ideas, which the market promptly tells you are completely wrong. And you probably lose your shirt or most of it. And you have to revise every single decision that you have. But the desire to survive economically, the threat of losing your shirt is a great motivation to learn quickly and to make decisions. So make decisions.